Why live a virtuous life? Why not simply drift along and give in to worldly pleasures whenever they arrive? Isn't the sole purpose of life to achieve and maintain comfort? When we embark on that journey of living a virtuous life, it means we have to die a symbolical death. But the benefits of doing so will enhance the quality of our experiences tremendously. When we're awake, our mind tends to be preoccupied with the external world. When our attention is always reaching out without rest, there's no time left to explore the universe within. Soon the outside chaos will become our internal state of being, if we do not take care. It's like opening a port to a stream of incoming data without running any network security, and every waking second new information arrives. Instead of the director, we become merely an actor in the play that is supposed to be our very own masterpiece. The never-ending current we're caught up in will weaken our focus and therefore slowly drain us of our mental and physical energy.
But there are ways out.
This may never be enough to fully paralyze us, but it will most certainly diminish our potential, so that we're left only with a fraction of what could have been if we just had the awareness to realize it while it was happening.
Don't stray from your path.
Fortunately, there are ways to stop this, or even to prevent this from happening in the first place. The importance of a clear mind has been described and explained by ancient texts all over the world. Among them is the Bardo Thodol, which is commonly known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. It describes the stages of physical and mental dissolution that occur as a person dies. These stages involve the breakdown of everything that constitutes the body and mind. As the body shuts down, the dying person experiences specific physical and psychological signs, such as the loss of bodily control, visions, and a gradual detachment from sensory perception. After death, the consciousness separates from the body and enters the bardo. A bardo can be described as an intermediate, transitional or liminal state between death and rebirth. Simply put, one could say that every state of consciousness could be likened to a bardo, an intermediate state between two moments. One of the bardos is being described as a phase where the deceased encounters peaceful and wrathful deities, projections of their own mind. These visions test the ability to recognize them as illusions. It is important that the individual recognizes the true nature of these experiences as projections of the mind, rather than external realities. This is something to keep in mind in everyday life as well. The deceased is urged to avoid being overwhelmed by fear, attachment or confusion, and to focus on virtuous thoughts and intentions. A central teaching is that all experiences in the bardo, whether peaceful, terrifying or confusing, are projections of the mind. Recognizing this can lead to liberation, as it allows the individual to transcend dualistic perceptions. The text stresses the importance of mental clarity, stability, and spiritual preparation during life to navigate the bardo successfully. This state of living may be linked to the concept of your higher self being in control. By recognizing that life is transient, we can cultivate a sense of detachment from material possessions and ego-driven desires that otherwise may occupy our mind and therefore end up owning us. We have to accept the fact that everything is temporary and that material possessions are nothing our mind should hover around or our heart should cling to. Practice mindfulness meditation to observe the impermanent nature of thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. Train the mind to recognize the illusory nature of phenomena. This aligns with the Buddhist concept of emptiness, where all experiences are interdependent and lack inherent existence. Work on letting go of attachments and aversions. Not only will they pull the consciousness towards rebirth, according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, but they will also burden and distract us. They will attract your focus, drain your energy, and devour your time that could have been spent with tasks that may have been much more important to you in the first place. Live ethically by following principles such as compassion, generosity, and non-harming. This builds positive karma and prepares the mind for a peaceful death. But even if you do not believe in the concept of karma, there's still an undeniable truth within this idea that cannot be denied. Otherwise, why would treating another person with decency gift you with a good feeling about yourself? There's a proverb always worth mentioning. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Reflect on your actions daily and make amends for harmful behaviors, fostering a sense of accountability and intentionality. Engage in regular meditation to stabilize and clarify the mind. The form of meditation is completely up to you, and there is no wrong way to approach this. For as long as you achieve a state of peace of mind, calmness, and the absence of thoughts that would normally preoccupy your mind, this can help develop mental resilience and reattain the ability to focus and concentrate, even while there may be turmoil around you. Meditation is a word whose meaning has suffered tremendously within the last century. It has been used and abused to a point where its original state was hidden behind a veil, and it is up to us if we want to unveil it or not. Keep in mind that it has been practiced all over the world for millennia. Contemplative meditation is not an esoteric myth, but rather a link to your inner cosmos and wisdom, a divine state of existence that has to be experienced rather than being described with words. It is considered to be something that enhances our perception of ourselves, the outside reality, our internal universe, and the material world, even beyond the physical realm we were born in. Study teachings on the nature of mind to deepen your understanding of consciousness. This can be through scientific studies or books written on this topic. Reading itself is already a practice that will help you regain control of your mind and thoughts, but only if chosen literature is not trivial and gives you the opportunity to immerse yourself fully in the narrative. Practice equanimity by observing emotions and thoughts without attachment. This will prepare you to recognize any mental projections you create in the external world. It will also unveil the projections of others you probably chased without knowing it. Contemplate impermanence and death as a natural part of life. This reduces fear and attachment. This should also inspire a deeper appreciation for life and death. By understanding the impermanence of life, the power of the mind, and the consequences of our actions, we can live more meaningfully. This path enables us to free ourselves, ultimately leading toward a new way of thinking, a way that we didn't receive through our upbringing, but instead chose ourselves. To achieve the things we want to achieve, we need to be able to control our attention, our focus, and our energy on the things that help us along the way. We need to learn ignoring that which is merely a distraction and serves no purpose in our life, even though it may appear as something worthwhile for others. To become aware of what it really is we want to create in our time here on earth, we must know ourselves down to the very essence of our being. What motivates us? What inspires us? What fascinates us? What things are we good at and enjoy doing? And what skills are there we want to learn, to study and to master? In order to answer these questions truthfully, we have to turn to the inside. We need to realize the simplicity in things, life, and most of all, ourselves. The Tibetan Book of the Dead teaches to Buddhists what happens during and after the moment of death. It shows what to do in life in order to prepare for the Bardo. Cultivating the mind in such manner is exactly what we can do to experience life in a way that is true to our very own nature. Meditation will show us what values to follow in order to be and exist as our true self. Through this, we will live a life full of essential experiences. Not only will we live consciously and be aware of what's happening on the inside as well as the outside, but we will be in a position where we can mold our inner cosmos and bring it forth into the world. This does not mean to avoid the things this world has to offer. It means not to be defined and led by the things of our external reality. We need to get rid of the wool that protects our past trauma and the things we thought define us. Once we did this, we will be one with the world that surrounds us, instead of being a fraction that was led astray by the things that were projected right in front of us. When we achieve such a state of being, we exist. We experience the here and now without any sort of negative programming. Therefore, we are free.